What is up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about the news coming out of Russia. And as many of you might not know, and I only found out about that today, it is actually Vladimir's Putin's birthday. And you know what's really interesting about that is the reactions of the Russian governmental workers on how they congratulate him. Now, before we talk about that, make sure to subscribe to this channel right here and hit the like button. I quote, "God save the Tsar." How Putin is congratulated in his 72nd birthday. Russian propagandist, Russian businessmen, Russian government officials have written hundreds of letters wishing a happy birthday to Vladimir Putin. And let's actually read this out real quick. So we got this little image right here. It says, how officials and propagandists congratulate Vladimir Putin on his 72nd birthday. Oligarch Konstantin Malofeyev. It was not through political technologies, but through God's providence that a man came to power in Russia who proved capable of changing the very course of history. Yes, you're right, Oligarch Konstantin. You know, he did change the course of Russia. He completely screwed it up, but obviously you like him because you're an oligarch and you make money off of him and the Russian citizens because he gives you an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars from the Russian population. Writer Zakhar Prilepin says, a man of abnormal efficiency, abnormal endurance, abnormal resistance to stress, not vengeful and not cruel. Is that guy smoking some of that hard stuff? Because calling Vladimir Putin not cruel is just unbelievable. I mean, like, let's look at Ukraine. What's going on there, right? I mean, wow, those guys are really spreading his butt cheeks aside and licking. Okay, I'm not even going to go into it, but let's read what State Duma Speaker Vyacheslav Volodin said. With Vladimir Putin, our country has gone through the difficult path of revival and gaining sovereignty after the collapse of the Soviet Union and the problematics of the 90s. You know what? Russia would have been better without him. Russia would have economically grown and possibly not fall down economically like it's doing right now. And the 4040s movement, I actually don't know who it is. Probably soldiers. Your Excellency, Mr. President Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, happy birthday to you, dear. Hold on and we'll pray for you so that you could stand firm and win. Oh my God. And a philosopher said, save the Tsar. I mean, like, come on. This philosopher, I'm not sure if this is a joke or is he actually meaning that Vladimir Putin is a Tsar. I mean, he is kind of right, you know, since there's no democratic elections or anything like this, he could be possibly right. Am I right, Ponchik? You just came here into our video to say hi to all of you guys, and if you're finding this video informative, or at least like my cat, hit the like button. Now, let's get to the next topic. And you know what? Since it is Vladimir's birthday, I wanted to talk a little bit about him. So at nighttime for his birthday, Ukrainian military gave him a gift of attacking a sea oil terminal in Feodosia, a big oil terminal. A fire was recorded in the area of the facility, and that is what the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine has said. That looks like a gift to him. But what is really interesting is that Putin stopped flying to Sochi out of fear of his life. Now, you know, he used to fly a lot of times. We could see in the image right here the amount of times he flew. In 2015, he flew 30 times. In 2016, he flew 26 times. 2017, 37. 2018, 26. 2019, 24. 2020, 8 times. In 2021, 24. And in 2023, we could see the decline, the big decline of his flight schedules to Sochi, which is 8 times. And in 2024, he only flew once, which really shows that he is very scared for his life flying around. And a source Familiar with the president explained this by the head of the state's fear for his life after drone attacks on city targets. Putin even broke the long-standing tradition of coming to Sochi for Alina Kabaeva's birthday, which she celebrates in May. Because every year he would have flown over to see her in her birthday party. And you might be thinking, he could be scared, but he also is scared to actually have his plane to be seen on flight radar or any sort of software, programs, radars. Putin's planes began to hide their location. Planes used by Vladimir Putin have begun routinely turning off their transponders during flights, following an increase in Ukrainian missile and drone strikes on Russian territory. So we could see Vladimir is getting very scared because there's a lot of birthday gifts that he's receiving from the neighboring country right now. So I'm guessing that he's just going to be sitting around wherever he is, or maybe he will be like a North Korean leader taking a train and riding that train all around the country, which I doubt that he will be doing. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be just sitting down in a bunker and not coming out of anywhere. Now, my favorite part of the video is talking about the everyday life of a superpower. This is what the roads in Yakutia looks like. That same Yakutia, which is several times larger than Ukraine and is literally stuffed with diamonds. There are huge diamond reserves in that area, but their money from the extraction is not spent on the development of the region. But guess where it's spent? Obviously, it's spent on the war and pocketing the money by the government official. So, you know what I say about the current government regime and the brainwashed Russians living in Russia? They themselves cannot live normally, so they're not letting their neighbors live normally either. And now some really serious news from Russia. This is one of the news headlines that I saw. Sanctions in October and November can either strengthen the ruble or weaken it. I mean, like, are you for real? How could you write something like this? First of all, how can sanctions strengthen the ruble, logically speaking, but saying on the Russian newspaper that it could either weaken or become stronger is like saying that tomorrow you might slip on a banana or you might not. I mean, like, what is this? Does this news even have any value? Why don't they talk about something important? This is just, I love putting interesting stuff like this into this video because you just see the absurdity that is happening in Russia. And it is just unbelievable. I'm just speechless. Now, Deputy Svetlana has explained why the Russian pensioners are having a very low pension. And if you guys didn't know, a Russian pension is like $250 to $300, but that's if it's good. If it's outside Moscow, it could be like $150. So, yeah, it's not great. It's not great at all, but she's saying that it's not because more money is spent on the war than social policy. This is not because the country has an exorbitant level of corruption. And not even because the damned West, as they say, imposed sanctions. The thing is, the Russians simply worked way too little or received their wages in envelopes. Yeah, you know what? The servants of the people, as they call them in Russia, the servants of the people will never have an idea of how normal, ordinary Russian pensioners live because of their huge salaries and the amount of money they steal. They will never understand. They probably spent a pension for a whole month just having breakfast in Moscow. So they literally have no idea what the heck they're talking about. Now, on Russian television, suddenly, everybody became concerned that the country is dying out. Let's check out this video right here.
We understand that what is happening in the country is not normal, that we are dying out.
The people who deal with demography and birth rate have brought the country to such a state that not only is it dying out, moreover, such cases are happening. And who are these people? Who deal with the demography and birth rate? Look, we spent 4.5 trillion rubles on a project, the National Project Demography, to raise the birth rate from 1.6 to 1.7 to 1.1 in 2024 in 6 years. As a result, Vladimir Vladimirovich announced this in an interview with Dmitry Kislov. As a result, the birth rate fell from 1 to 1.31. That is 4.5 trillion were spent on the increasing of the birth rate, and in the end we received 4.5 trillion, and at the end we got a decline. Who's responsible for the demographic? Well, why is the population dying out? I mean, watching the news, there's a war going on, that Russia attacked Ukraine and people are dying and nobody wants to have kids because the economy is screwed. But just in case you probably don't even know how the guy looks who's responsible for the National Project Demography, here's how he looks like. He's definitely not stealing that huge amount of money that the guy was talking about. Definitely not him. Let's not think about him, all right? Let's get to the next topic. Remember I was telling you guys that the crazy criminals and people who came from the so-called special military operation are going to become the new elite. Now, I actually want to read this out to you. First Deputy Chief of the Presidential Administration, Sergei Kiriyenko, reported to Putin on plans to train at least 50 mayors and governors from among the special military operation fighters by 2026. The training will take place within the framework of the Time of Heroes program, which will begin to function fully next year and will become a real forge of personnel. Now, I actually did not know that there was something below the bottom that Russia has hit, but it seems like there's a long way to go. Having some crazy criminals becoming mayors and governors, I mean, most of them are, but this is like the next level stuff right here. This is even worse. I don't even know what to say about this, but this is just absolutely crazy. You're going to be having criminals as mayors and governors, killers, some sorts of dealers, just not the right people to be in the government, governing cities and towns. It is just unbelievable. What are they smoking? I sometimes really don't know what can I say about this. This is just unbelievable. Now to the last news of today's video. In the Belgorod region, they will pay 3 million Russian rubles, which is around like $30,000, for concluding a contract. This is a new record for this region. Let's check this out. We are forming a new level of payments for those who sign contracts or leave the territory of the Belgorod region voluntarily. In general, from all sources, from the federal budget, regional budget, municipal budget, and outside budget funds, the payment from October 7th to December 31st, 2024, from today will be 3 million rubles. The governor has said that he's going to be paying out $30,000 to anyone from Russia who will sign up for a contract in Belgorod region, and the payment will be made up from the federal budget, regional budget, municipal budget, and off-budget funds. So the budgets that are created to make better cities, better hospitals, better schools are going to be spent on paying people money to go and die for Putin. That is what's happening right now. So they don't want people to probably be signing contracts in Moscow, for example, St. Petersburg. So $30,000 is a heck of a lot of money in Russia. So people from Moscow are probably even going to go into the Belgorod region and sign a contract. And why would they be signing a contract? They realize that there's not enough people to defend Kursk, probably, to get the Ukrainians, to get them pushed out of the Russian territory. So they're going to be trying their best to get as much people as they can by waving a wad of cash in front of them, saying, come on, join in. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make bank. You're going to be living a good life. All you got to do is just kill a bunch of people. And the thing is, what is really interesting, that this measure, right, calling up for contracts for $30,000 is valid from October 7th to December 31. So it's like a limited time offer to make a lot of cash in a second. What do you guys think about all of this? Please tell me in the comment section below, because I find Russia just becoming more crazy, more unstable, and the Russian president being very paranoid now and very scared to live somewhat of what his life was before the start of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Would really appreciate if you could hit the subscribe button, because it really helps my dream come true. And my dream is to come to the United States of America and start a new life. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. P.S. If you want to see some car content, there's going to be a link in the description called Sanctioned Drive. Go over there and subscribe. You're going to be seeing some wild projects. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.